Hi there, and welcome to my 2021 holiday house tour. I do one of these every year. Christmas is my favorite time of year. I'm kind of obsessed, which when you see the house tour, you might agree with. I really, really love Christmas. And every year I end up tweaking little things, adding a lot. I feel like I've added a lot this year. So I hope that even if you've seen this tour in past years, that you still find something to enjoy in this tour. So let's see, come along with me. We'll start with the outside of the house. We've done quite a bit new on the outside of the house here. We added the candy canes along the walkway and the ribbon around the bushes in the front. I was pleased that adding the ribbon around the bushes was actually easier than I thought it would be. We changed out the bows on the wreaths in the windows and added ornaments in the window boxes. These little planters were looking pretty sad. I had old mums in them, so we ended up spray painting the mums red, and then I used that as a base to add holly and pine cones and some of the arborvitae branches and evergreen branches to those, and I really like how they turned out. We also bought a garland holder for the front door frame this year so that I could put up a thicker garland with more decorations on it, and it's working pretty well. We are Christmas Corner Cottage. This house believes in magic. Let's head on in. Starting out in the front entry, we have done some little tweaks to this area as well. The branches in the vases have gotten a few added lit branches. Really like the way that looks. And a papercraft Santa welcomes you from the center of the wreath. I also picked up these antique Christmas postcards at an event last weekend. I love all the little details on this display. And here's a zoomed out shot of everything. Then the other side of the entry has this Merry sign that we put out every year. I found this pillow at Big Lots this year in the center, and it was the perfect thing. I've been wanting something for the center of this chair. And of course, Chimera the cat gargoyle gets his usual garland. I so love this windswept Santa artwork, and we put it up every year. The garland around the door frames is new this year. I decided to just go for it and try it, and oh my goodness, I love how it looks so much. This is definitely going to be a regular thing from now on. Here's the other side. We added ribbon and ornaments and lights. And we used command hooks to put it up so that we wouldn't have nails. And of course, our house guardian Hestia has mistletoe. Here's another look at the entry area overall, and then we're heading into the dining room. I really love how the dining room looks during the holiday season. I think it looks the best of any time during the year. You can tell we really love deer in the decorating. put greens around the chandelier and hang little baubles off of it. Another beautiful deer is in the corner of the dining room. And I keep trying to capture the glitter on this pine tree, but it never seems to work. The garlands on the two corner cabinets are lit with a pine tree on top of it, made of wicker. And the lady fox is on this side, with the gentleman fox on this side. I'm going to spin you around from the dining room to the entry, and now we're headed into the living room. To either side of the door, I have these swags that I made from Dollar Tree materials using a tutorial by Bargain Bethany on YouTube. And here's one side of the living room with the fireplace. I'm so proud of this Santa. I ended up repainting his face 2 years ago to give him some more character, and don't tell my other Santas, but he's my favorite Santa that I own. I kind of zhuzhed up the inside of the fireplace this year and added some lights and a bit more greenery and a bit more color. And the gray kind of cement-looking deer with the gold antlers are new this year. Felt like this area just needed something, and I'm really happy with how they look. And the wall chandelier gets some decoration too. The Merry Christmas satchel is new, and the deer sleigh was in the front entry before. I really like how it looks by the fireplace, though. Turning around, I am so happy with how this wall tapestry turned out. This is actually a tablecloth from Victorian Trading Company, but I really wanted something for the wall that would create a big impact and also wouldn't have to take up a lot of storage space. So this can just be folded away after the season, but it sure does create a lot of impact on this wall. And we have my Santa table with a Sahaya and Company candle. Also new this year is this beautiful big Woodland Santa. Oh, I love him so much. We needed something for this corner of the living room, and I feel like he was the absolute perfect choice. And of course, there's also Einar, our reindeer. He is named for the lead singer of Wardruna, if you're familiar with the music group Wardruna. And this gorgeous water lantern with another Old World Santa. The sofa decorations are pretty much the same, but what's new is this artwork above the sofa. I found this at Walmart, and oh my goodness, I had to grab it immediately, and it's a good thing I did because we have not seen it since. Also, well, not new, but moved to a different place, are these swags above the windows. This was what used to be above the two openings in the hallway, the two doorways in the hallway. Of course, we have to have some Christmas-themed books on the coffee table. A couple of versions of 12 Days of Christmas. My spirit jar for the spirit of Christmas is right next to it, and then my fairy holding a Muka-style ornament. And above the TV, we have 4 different old world Santa artworks from old postcards. Adley, of course, gets some Christmas cheer with her wreath and with her flower crown with berries. And there's holly all around. Everyone gets to get in the spirit. The top shelf has Santa and his reindeer flying through the clouds, while the fairy village below has all sorts of beautiful buildings. Then we have our Scandinavian style Christmas countdown and a couple of deer in the woods at the bottom. Then there's our Christmas tree. This is our second year doing white lights and colored lights, and oh, I love how it looks so much. That's definitely going to be the standard from now on. Our main tree is decorated with all of our Hallmark Disney ornaments, along with a few classic favorites, and some of our favorite Christmas plush are on display around. I'm sure these guys are always very happy to come out at Christmas time. So that's an overview of the living room. Tom likes to call it the Christmas room because it's definitely where we spend our most time during the Christmas season, so we decorated it up really big. Headed from the front hallway back into the back hallway, we have our family tomta right here. And in the bathroom, we have a reminder, please believe in the magic of Christmas. I'm really enamored with this particular Holly King sculpture that hangs below the Brian Froud Holly King now. And new this year, we emptied out the wall pocket and we added some Christmas greenery to that as well. The display in the downstairs bathroom is pretty much the same, but I really like how it looks, so why change anything? Then we have the geek room with our wonderful Spider-Man tree. My husband collects Spider-Man ornaments. Spider-Man is his favorite fictional character of all time. So it's wonderful that they get their own tree. And then we have this shelf that we switch out every month with seasonal things. So this has all of our seasonal Funko Pops and toys and different fun little elements on it for the holiday season. The area of my house that has the most changes is the kitchen. Last year, I came up with a story for my origin story of Mrs. Claus, and I've become rather enamored with my Mrs. Claus version. In fact, eventually I would like to actually play Mrs. Claus as I get older. In my kitchen this year, I've changed the theme to Mrs. Claus Apothecary. She is an apothecarist, she is a magic maker, she brews her own potions, makes her own magic spells to help Santa with all that he has to do for the Christmas season. So since this kind of concept isn't really, it's not like gingerbread or Mrs. Claus's Bakery or something where you can find ready-made items that are already made for this. So basically everything in the kitchen this year I had to create from scratch. So let's take a look. Welcome to the Mrs. Claus Apothecary, brewing up magic, joy, and wonder. I have to give credit with this sign to a sign at Michael's that I saw at Halloween time. I thought it was so beautiful, this potion sign, and I borrowed some elements of it for my own sign. The sign itself is from Goodwill, and I thought the shape of it was perfect for my Mrs. Claus Apothecary, so I repainted it. Of course, we all know where Mrs. Claus belongs, at the North Pole. A portrait of a young Mrs. Claus by my friend Green hangs right next to a wreath, and this sled-shaped shelf with runners that I repainted with holly has some of her potions on it. And of course, Ingvar Claus has an apothecarist certificate that she hangs proudly in her apothecary. Here are some of her potions. I had such a fun time coming up with these. They include the Northern Lights with colors that shift, Pines and Needles, and Santa's Eye Twinkle with a painting of Santa's eye on the top. Some of her potion ingredients are on a tier tray, ready to grab and create her brews. Cinnamon, mistletoe, pine cones, even a bit of the north wind, contents under pressure. Holly, a little bit of the first snow, moss, and uh-oh, looks like she's getting low on her peppermint. Even some of the items that I need to keep in my kitchen, I re-themed with my husband's help with ideas. Above the sink are some hanging herbs ready for the Christmas season. And on the windowsill, she's getting ready to grow some new, different little plants for the holiday season as well. Here's a close-up of some of her holiday greenery that she's drying out above her sink. And one of her potion books are open to a couple of pages, including one page on an ingredient and one page on a potion that she makes with that ingredient. She also has this frost mistletoe specimen. It's a very dangerous specimen. You can see that frost is growing on the outside. You never want to touch this one with your bare hands. Ingvar Claus is from Norway, so I tried to add little touches of Norwegian patterns and culture, including these Yule goats and a Scandinavian candelabra. Of course, she has to have brooms to sweep up her area, and this artwork by my friend Kat is perfect for this space. On this side of her apothecary, she has a portrait of her beloved husband and a Christmas tree that features tiny little potion bottles with little things that she might have to grab. There's this set of apothecarist shelves that I made from some boxes at Dollar Tree. They're labeled up with items that she might need. Candy canes, Krampus spices, ribbons. And then she has another potion book right here. This is her travel potion book, as you can tell by the spaces on the front for little potion bottles. And of course her mortar and pestle. Heading upstairs now. We pass by Santa on the landing. We always say hello to Santa. Turning the corner. This is our upstairs hallway. Our upstairs bathroom is teeny, teeny, tiny, but there's still space for a little bit of Christmas cheer. I love this shower curtain. New this year, I did have one unlit tree in this hallway for my glass bird ornaments, but I was running out of room on them, so we ended up buying 2 lit Christmas trees in urns, and I really love how the birds can be spaced out on both of them. I've been collecting these glass bird ornaments pretty much my whole adult life because I have fond memories of the glass birds that my parents put on the tree when I was a kid. next room we want to explore is the room I call the dreaming room. This is where I work on crafts and writing and dreaming. Mortimer, the Christmas elf, stands guard in front of the fairy door on this wall. And then there's my fairy tree. It has a ladder for all of the fairies with no wings to get up into the tree to socialize with their friends. And it's decorated with all kinds of things that fairies might enjoy, including the fairies themselves. And the top has a fairy star. Iridescent glass baubles, white snowflake stars, and little cutouts of artworks by Brian and Wendy Froud and other classical fairy artists are all over the tree. Little balls of moss are in there too, along with pine cones. My little painted rabbit light overlooks the bed with the moon shining overhead. And I love this little artwork by Svetlana Mativa. She's a ghost pipe seahorse, and she's hanging from the branches. Look at how she shimmers. This is such a dreamy space to sit and ponder and imagine. And I hope the fairies love their tree too. I know Mortimer the Christmas elf certainly appreciates the space. Now we'll walk on to our bedroom. We actually secretly keep this room decorated all the way until spring. It's just so nice to have a touch of warmth and glow throughout the winter. And to all a good night. Our tree up here is decorated monochromatically with a woodland forest theme, with all sorts of forest animals. And a swan with a crown on it. This chair is a wonderful place to sit and admire the Christmas glow, as this fox is doing. This forest spirit certainly enjoys the view of the tree. And I bought this blanket this year with all kinds of forest animals on it for a little window seat. My bust in the bedroom has a crown of pine cones, and Tom's dresser has all sorts of woodland animals on top of it, including artworks by a couple of dear friends. I really hope you enjoyed this 2021 holiday house tour, and I wish you and all your loved ones a very magical holiday season.